A man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
The draft is next for the National Hockey League, so you now know where you're going with that.
I think there's going to be some fascinating things that are going to happen. It's going to try and happen. Look, teams are not going to be able to stand pat. That's a given.
How about that?
Because don't forget, 48 hours after the day 2 of the draft, free agency hits. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things going on in the National Hockey League.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, Canada, welcome. Welcome to a FlameTech Football Friday here on the RP Show. Canada's daytime sports talk show is rolling. And we say hey to Canadian sports fans around the world. We got a special treat for you. John Frenzy in the bunker here to open up the program today, the Hall of Fame writer, broadcaster. How you doing, Frenzy?
I'm doing great, Rod. Just simply great. Even though we got that blizzard out there, doesn't bother me at all.
The weather outside is frightful.
Oh, is it ever?
But the show today's delightful.
Couldn't see where we're going on the road, folks.
Yeah.
Get here. That's beside the point. That's called fun.
If you go to our Instagram page, you will see a video of John Frenzy and I in the road on the way up here. I threatened to put a GoPro in my Capital GMC terrain and video that chat. I still think we should. Well, there's a 15-second snippet of it on my Instagram page right now at Rod Pedersen Official. But anyways, I see we've got new viewers today that are writing in. You might be best to tweet us or text us on the Prairie Mobile text line, because here in the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace, come in and warm up at the Four Seasons, you're home for the NFL. We do the talking. So when it comes to questions and comments, that's later on. So you can say good morning and so forth, but I can't answer questions right now because we got business to get to. And Darren DuPont was saying to me, you might as well bring Frenzy in for the warm-up because we got so many guests today. People love them some Lynch, and this is the best time to get Lynch's thoughts. So that's why you have him. Coming up on the program today, Gus Frerotte. You see that I'm wearing the Huddle Up with Gus podcast bunny hug that just came in the mail this week. Perfect timing. Gus Frerotte, the 17-year NFL quarterback, Pro Bowler, will be with us to preview this weekend's NFL games. Same story with Tori Gurley, who will join us in hour 2, our regular weekly NFL insider. And of the Montreal Alouettes, running back Shaq Murray Lawrence You're not going to believe this, but his agency, New World Agency, lined us up with this interview because Shaq Murray-Lawrence is on the Canadian bobsled team, Lynch. Can you believe that?
Oh, about that, eh?
Running back of BC Lions fame, Shaq Murray-Lawrence now belongs to the Alouettes, I believe, but he's on the Canadian national bobsled team. And he's going to be joining us today. So,
And he was here for a couple of days, eh?
apparently he was with the Rough Riders. I missed it.
Yeah. Well,
Clark says he was on the Rider roster but didn't get onto the field. So we got a lot to get to with Shaq Murray-Lawrence. But let's jump into the quick 6 show topics, please, on this FlameTech Football Friday. Thank you, Director Jordan. They're not all football here in the warm-up, but we're starting off with football. I was on TSN 1290 radio in Winnipeg this morning and chatting with Jim Toth and Troy Westwood, and they were the first to inform me that Andrew Harris has signed a contract extension with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And it really opens a Pandora's box to me of a lot of things that we've been talking about all week on this show. Number one, the obvious. Andrew Harris is the reigning Grey Cup MVP and most outstanding Canadian. He's signed with the Blue Bombers. I will take the road to negative. I won't take the off-ramp to negative town. Westwood said to me, hey, given this guy's resume, is Andrew Harris on the road to being the greatest running back ever in the CFL? Because we're on live radio, I think he must have said the greatest Canadian running back ever. Eh, Lynch?
Yeah.
And John Cornish, Andrew Harris, John Cornish, Andrew Harris. I think it comes down to one of the two. Yeah. But as far as supremacy at the top, it's George Reed and Mike Pringle.
Of course, but Andrew Harris is the best Canadian. I think he's better than John Cornish. Oh, Harris is just terrific. And he performed fantastic in the playoffs last year. Won that Grey Cup for the Bombers himself.
Of course.
Outstanding player.
I don't think anybody's ever been named the MVP and the top Canadian.
No.
Maybe there was one other time. My God, our memories are fading from the last time we saw the CFL on the field. That's why they need to be talked about, but people don't agree with me.
He had a sensational Grey Cup game, and he was so determined to win that Grey Cup game.
Right. But as I said to the guys on Winnipeg radio this morning, listen, what the news I want out of the CFL is, are you playing? And if you are, how are you playing? That's really all I want to hear. Because, not to be Debbie Downer on this Friday, but so the players have signed extensions. Great. What's their other option? Retirement.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I don't see this as huge news. I'm sorry. Andrew Harris is a Winnipegger. He doesn't want to leave Winnipeg. So to lead off that interview and talk about that is not breaking news.
Yeah.
Point 2 to the National Football League, and 2 of the 7 head coaching vacancies have been filled. The Jaguars have hired Urban Meyer, who's never been an NFL coach before, but nobody seems to be scared off by that.
He's a winner.
He's a winner all the way, as Lynch would say. Randy Rath, watching in Manitoba, says, nope, Andrew Harris was the first and only to win both. Thank you. Thank you for answering that. Oh, boy.
How about that, eh?
Oh, boy.
How about that?
Greg Klevgard says Harris might be great, but he likes his additives in his drinks. He's going to be living down the PED forever. And I think that, Greg, are you just a Rider fan saying that? Because at what point does Andrew Harris be let out of the PED jail? When does that happen? I've let him out, by the way. But as I've said with the Bombers, we've gone back and forth. They're very upset when the steroid thing comes up for Andrew Harris. And I said, you can't dictate when the court of public opinion's done with you. Yeah. Sorry. I'm done. I'm not going to hold Andrew Harris to that. But the Rider Nation doesn't seem like they're ever going to let Andrew Harris go with that.
No, they don't.
And they seem to forget that Marcus Thigpen was guilty of the exact same thing.
Right. Yeah. Harris is just terrific. Fantastic with speed, power, got it all. And desire, eh? How about that desire?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, the Jets coach, pardon me, he was the defensive coordinator in L.A., Robert Saleh. Is that how they say it?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the man.
And he's been the defensive coordinator in L.A. He's going to New York. Good coach, tough coach, good coach, I think. Good move for them. Finally, they're getting a decent coach, which will help them a bit. Now they got to get a quarterback, which they'll get in the draft. So things should be improved in Jetland next year.
I'll get to your questions in a minute. Moving on, point 3, to the divisional playoffs. Lynch and I were discussing in the car on the way up here, what's the best game? Obviously, hey, I say Bucks, Saints. He doesn't. He says what?
I am saying I think the best game will be Baltimore and Buffalo. Baltimore will go to Buffalo. Woo! That'll be a sensational football game. And it's tomorrow at 7:15. Baltimore Ravens at Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills have been playing terrific. And so Baltimore. It's going to be a great game because they got two superstars at quarterbacks.
You're probably right, but I think there are more stars in the New Orleans-Tampa Bay game, which is Sunday, and that includes Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown. So for our own reasons, those are the games we're paying the most attention to, but I'm stealing the question from TSN 1290 Winnipeg. Their poll question today is, we're taking it. Which favorite will fall? Is that how we worded it? Or was it which underdog will win? That's completely opposite, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So we changed the wording.
Which favorite
So it's a
will
slightly
fall?
different question than what TSN 1290's announcing today. Which underdog will win this weekend in the NFL divisional playoffs? And the Buccaneers are running away with it with 54%. Arr!
Hope so.
Who's number 2?
Sure hope so.
The Ravens. Yeah. That's on Facebook. Lynch, which one of these games is going to see an upset?
I really think that
You think the Ravens?
Buccaneers are going to win.
Okay.
Buccaneers, yeah. Tampa Bay faces New Orleans for the third time in the last 6 or 7 weeks. They lost twice to them at the end of the season badly, but I think that Tampa Bay are going to do it because of Brady. Makes the big plays again. And I think that I'm hearing whispers that Drew Brees has heard a bit. Right?
Oh, yeah. I think for sure that he is. So, tremendous football games. You've got 24 hours to vote on that. We're going back and forth here. A couple of Rider fans have chimed in. Brian Eitenauer says, why should we let him out of jail? He was probably doing it his whole career. Well, they all are, for the most part. I would say the majority is anyways. So to hold Andrew Harris accountable, it's the people, waving their finger at somebody that got a DUI when they've done it 100 times and never got caught themselves. That's all.
They gave him credit for what he's done in the football field, which is fantastic.
Right. Well, but that Greg Klevgard says, you're right, Rod. People make mistakes. Time to move on. So some people are going to move on. Some will never move on.
No.
I've moved on. If you don't want to, that's your choice. Trent in Norway checking in. Hello, Trent. He says, Norway calling. Glad the Oilers won and got the balance between being relaxed and showing some intensity. Sorry for a poor explanation yesterday. Kansas City and Green Bay will still meet in the Super Bowl, but I agree with Lynch on Ravens-Bills. Brady will get to Green Bay. Have a great weekend. That's from Trent in Norway checking in
next weekend
with his crystal ball predictions.
Yeah, something else.
But let's not look to next weekend yet. Let's just talk about this weekend. Moving on. Hang on. Point 4, NHL leftovers from Thursday night. I tweeted these. What a wonderful night of hockey. Connor McDavid. But let me just start with this. I watched the Jets and the Flames, and I loved it. It had a lot of ups and downs, and it was a game that went to overtime, and Patrick Laine scored the winner. I'm just loving Laine. After his first goal, he skated by the Flames bench and yipped something at them, which I love that kind of stuff. I really do. And then that ignited a fire under the Flames, who promptly went up 3-1. And then the Jets came back and won in overtime on a Laine goal. So they absolutely can't trade Patrick Laine. Can't do it.
No.
Can't do it.
Don't trade your stars. You can't do it.
No, you can't trade your stars, as Lynch has often said. So do whatever it takes to make him happy. There's a legitimate case to be made that Patrick Laine is the best player on your team. Figure it out.
Common sense says it too.
Yeah, and then I got to be honest. A lot of my friends were texting me about the Oilers and what was going on over there. And my phone's going off like a slot machine. Bing, bing, bing. McDavid scoring like crazy. But I'm not watching that game. I'm watching the Jets. We're leaning into Winnipeg sports talk, if you've noticed, because they're giving the love to us. Alberta is, but not as much as Manitoba. So then I flipped over to the Oilers game, and really it was over by then, by the time I flipped. What did it end up? Doesn't matter what ended up. The Oilers won. McDavid had 4 points. And my point is, as long as the Oilers rely on 2 players, they're done. They're not going anywhere. Would you agree with that, Frenzy?
Sure would. You'd think that Tippett would correct that and get a second line.
I know.
But he hasn't. And those two guys are the top two players in hockey in the NHL. They are the two best players on the same line. How about that? They should be able to work something out with those guys that the rest of the team gets better and can win, because they got some pretty good players there, but they don't play very well for the Oilers. I guess it's because they're in the shadow of the other two guys.
I guess, but I've seen it. I've seen it on junior teams. If you only got two good players, which is what we had with the Regina Pats with Jordan Eberle and Colton Tubert, just two, we didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you can't be two players and 18 other guys.
No.
And that's what Edmonton has. So they won. 5-2 was the final. And then Vegas, I panicked. I couldn't find the game. Last year, I had no problem finding Golden Knights games on my cable, and now I'm having a problem with it. They beat Anaheim last night 5-2. Robin Lehner was in goal. What do they even need Marc-Andre Fleury for? So this morning, I investigated buying the entire package from the NHL so I can get my beloved Golden Knights. But I was always happy because sitting here in the Bermuda Triangle of the NHL, we're in the TV regions of the Oilers, Flames, and Jets, and invariably one of them is playing the Golden Knights, so I got them all the time. Jeff in Calgary, the Stamps fan, says, "Don't worry, Rod. No one in Calgary hates you. It's just your perception."
I
beg to differ.
I think that's right.
Bo Levi hates me. There's one. We'll always have Bo.
Yeah.
John Kirby in Edmonton says the Vegas game aired on NBC Sports. Not on my package. I'll find it. It was just the first night. I'm settling in.
It wasn't on NBC Sports. There's no.
No, I didn't.
I tried to find it too.
I couldn't find it on NBC Sports.
And my wife tried, and she can't find it. Nobody can. So.
Point 5. This is curling news that actually emanates across the whole country. It's focused really on the rectangle, but the Saskatchewan curling just anointed provincial champions because COVID's caused the cancellation of our provincial playdowns. Yeah. So Team Matt Dunstone and Team Sherry Anderson, I know them both very well, will represent the men and women's side of this province at the Brier and the Scotties. And I'll just say this. Hats off to the class of the curling people, i.e. Team Colton Flash, who's been on this show, and Team Silvernagel on the women's side, who did a concession speech on Twitter without even actually losing. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
They lost by acclamation, and they just said, tough decision for Sask Curl. Good luck to Team Dunstone and Team Anderson. We are all Team Sask.
Yep.
This makes my heart go, da-thump, da-thump, da-thump.
Very well.
So to not get the whininess that we normally get from entitled sporting figures doesn't happen in curling. And point 6, hang on a second. Todd Pinkney says center ice is free for 2 weeks. Okay, well, I got to figure this all out. I got to figure it all out. Everything's changed. I've never had to buy center ice before because, as I said, I was happy sitting in the region that we're in. But now I can't see my favorite team, so now I got to figure out how we're going to do this. But I'll figure it out. Point 6, the Raptors, they won! Second worst team in the NBA, the Toronto Raptors, won at home in Tampa, 111-108 over Charlotte. But don't get too excited. Everybody beat Charlotte. But the Raptors are now 3-8.
Yeah. Not off to a good start.
No. John in Edmonton says, sorry to tell you, Rod, but Saturday's Vegas game is not airing in Canada. It's okay. I'm going to be watching NFL. The rock star of the day yesterday, interestingly enough, was Mike Richards. The rock star of the day for Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions was Mike Richards from Saga 960 in Mississauga, Ontario. Mike Richards. He beat out the voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Dave Randorf. Unbelievable, I know. And
hard to believe.
I know. And from a viewer, Michael Dornian, Twisted Mike. He used to listen to my old show. He's found us here. And now I'll answer your question, Mike, and then we'll break and bring on Gus Farrat. He says, Twisted Mike here. Should the WHL let Connor Bedard and all the rest of the 16-year-old rookies play their 16-year-old or rookie seasons next year and let them stay in the league until after their 21st birthday? You're projecting 5 years out, man. You're talking about a guy that's 16 as a hockey player. What's going to happen when he's 20 or 21? That is a lifetime in hockey terms. And by the way, Connor Bedard's probably going to be in the NHL at 18.
Yeah.
So you're talking about what's happening with university football and they're extending the eligibility for seniors. Yeah. I get that. I think, no. Don't worry about the rookies. What they should be doing is extending the 19 and 20-year-olds now for a 21-year-old season. Now. But we'll discuss this later. It's a great question, Twisted Mike, and thanks for finding us on our new show. One more. Rose, the Edmonton Eskimo fan, writes from Edmonton. She says, I like you because Bo doesn't like you.
How about that, eh? That's one way to look at it.
All right. Gus Farad in next. This has been the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up. You're home for the NFL. You're watching on Game Plus TV and live daily on YouTube. And listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
You need to adapt and you need to move forward. You can't be stuck in 1920. Direct West is on the top of their game. They know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and when you work with Direct West, things are good. There's no going backwards, they're moving forward. My business would not be where it is today without the help of Direct West to help me with my website and my Facebook and all my online presence. I've worked with Direct West for about 10 years, and it's been a great experience.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is, and we've got Hall of Fame rider broadcaster John Frenzy here with us. Gus Farad, for those that may have forgotten, 17 years in the National Football League, Pro Bowler in the 1996 season, and he is an NFL record holder, which we may get into in our chat here. But let's bring him in today. Gus Farad from Pennsylvania. I got the bunny hug going, the hoodie, Gus. I left my mug at home, but I got one. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, Rod. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Happy New Year. How are things in the Farad clan here as we move forward into 2021, the whole family?
Well, it's kind of crazy today, so I'm on with you virtually. My wife is doing work virtually from her office. My sons are upstairs doing their second podcast ever with Wes Welker. So we're all at home, all over the internet.
Are your boys, is that part of the Huddle Up podcast, or what's the deal with Welker? Tell me about that.
Well, Wes has been a good friend for a long time, and he's now a receivers coach with the 49ers. But I've known Wes since we played together in Miami in 2005, and he's known the kids since they've been tiny. So they started a podcast this year. They wanted to try it. So they got on my show, just talked about their football picks and, fantasy football, along with, doing a little FanDuel betting. And they did a good job. I really liked what they did. So we said, let's try another show. They've been working on trying to get my buddy Ryan Fitzpatrick on. Fitzy's got his 7 kids, and so he's a little busier. And he has 3 little ones. So Wes just got finished, and Wes is going to come on. My son Gunnar actually worked with Wes one summer when he worked for Houston Texans, and Wes had him come up from college and just hang out with him and go through the meetings and meet all the players. So it's a good mix. I think they're going to have a great show today.
Awesome. Well, you're finding it's like Canada, and as you've pointed out, you've got a lot of family up here. They can't get enough hockey talk. They don't care who's saying it. They just can't get enough. In America, very similar with NFL talk, right? You put out a podcast, people are going to listen and watch. Would you agree?
I agree. And I think that you have to bring some good stuff with it. You can't just go out and act like you know what you're doing. You have to understand the game. You have to really give the audience some deep understanding, or maybe stories they've never heard before. I think you guys do a great job with hockey. I was just listening to your show before I came on. I know a few players that play up there. We were in St. Louis for a long time with Keith Tkachuk, and now watching his boys play, it's kind of amazing how great they're doing up there, one with the Flames and one with the Senators. So it's been a lot of fun watching them. And, I've been a Penguins fan as long as I can remember. So sorry about that. I know you're a Golden Knights fan and took our goalie from us, or should I say we let him go. But, NFL here is huge. If you can talk NFL, talk it well, and give people something new or something different, then they'll definitely listen to you. Oh, by the way, I love the sweatshirt.
Oh, I love it too, man. I don't know where you're getting this stuff from, but it is very warm. It's for what we got outside. This blizzard is perfect for the conditions. And by the way, I don't know why we got Fleury if we're not playing him. It's a bit of a stick in my craw with both my brother and me that are both Golden Knights fans that he's sitting on the bench. It kind of ticks me off. But listen, we do have the Brent Musburger of Canada here, John Frenzy. I said Hall of Fame writer, broadcaster. I'm going to turn him loose on you in a second.
John, how you doing?
Good, Gus.
As a matter of fact, Lynch, you were so excited to interview Gus. Why don't you take it over, and I'll come back at the end with a few for Gus.
Gus, I got to ask you about one situation that I just can't believe. It's the Philadelphia situation. A good kid, Carson Wentz, comes in from North Dakota State, takes him to the Super Bowl, been pretty good in the last 2 years. He has a rotten year this year. He hasn't got any blockers. Nobody can help him. He's getting sacked every second game, every play. And he got really upset about it. He had some clashes with the coach, Doug Pedersen. And then he said that he can't play for this team anymore. He and Doug Pedersen have an irreconcilable situation. It can't be reconciled. So what did... then he went and phoned his mother and told him what's going on. And his mommy got into the act. And she phoned up Jeff Lurie, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, and he said... I'll look into this. And he decided that because he signed our friend Carson Wentz, first of all, 5 years ago, he likes the kid. He's going to play. He's going to be at the quarterback. We're going to keep him, and we're going to fire the coach. So he walks in last Monday and fires Doug Pedersen, who's the best coach they've had in years. They only wanted to take him to the Super Bowl. And a schmozzle there now. A lot of the players are very upset about this. So how do you see that? Am I reading this thing wrong? Is it as silly as it looks?
It's very silly, but you got to remember it's a business. And, who's going to cost that owner a lot more money? Is it going to be Carson Wentz or is it going to be Doug Pedersen? So I don't know all the ins and outs. I didn't know his mom got involved. I mean, anytime that happens, that gets a little crazy too. Coaches don't really enjoy that, with the whole Carson Wentz thing, for me personally, watching Carson Wentz play, I think he gives maximum effort. I think he's very prone to turnovers. When we saw them go to the Super Bowl, Nick Foles came and played for him after he got hurt. Nick Foles did a good job with the team. And so I think Carson got very lucky of signing a very big deal, right? And that kind of solidified his time in Philadelphia. But then they bring in a young kid in Jalen Hurts who has a lot of promise as well. And so Carson doesn't do well. Yes, like you said, his line was abysmal, but I did get sacked 62 times one year playing for the Washington football team. So I know what that's like. And that still doesn't give you full reign just to turn over the football or make bad decisions and all of that, because that's the NFL, and sometimes you get that, it becomes that way. So you have to be able to, you're the leader of that team, you have to be able to improve your play in all situations. And I just think that this was a crazy year. They could have just said, hey, we're chalking this up to COVID, and we don't know, we're just going to erase it from the books and start over next year and bring back our base. Our coach, our 2 quarterbacks, and let's maybe have a competition. Let's figure it out. But I agree with you. I don't think Doug Pedersen should have been fired. I think he should have stayed there. But obviously, Mr. Lurie owns the team. He can do whatever he wants. It's a business, and he probably figured that's the decision that he wanted to make and was best for everyone.
Well, Gus, because you've been around pro football for so long and still are, in my 20 years in the CFL, we've seen it where there are irreconcilable differences between a coach and a player. And I just wonder if, can you not put them in a room and say, figure it out? And I don't mean just head coaches. It's happened with coordinators, position coaches. But have you seen situations where it's just not one has to go?
Oh, yeah, I've been it. I've done it. When I was with the Washington football team and had to deal with that with Coach Turner and Mike Martz, and we had downright blowouts, right? And they don't forget, you don't forget, and sometimes you burn some bridges that you shouldn't have. They always tell you don't ever burn the bridges because you never know when those people come around and help you again. But at that time when it's heated and you're kind of in the moment, you don't think about that stuff, and you're young, and you only get a couple opportunities to be great in the NFL and do the right thing. So I can understand where Carson's coming from. Maybe he said some things he shouldn't have to Doug, and then Doug probably may have said some things he shouldn't have, and he gets out and gets the owner, and the owner has to make a decision. And we all saw what the decision was.
I saw on Twitter 3 or 4 players saying, hey, Coach, sad to see you go. You're terrific. Loved you a lot. Top players in that Philadelphia team. So I think there's going to be some hard feelings there. And I don't know. I just found it very surprising that would happen because you don't get rid of your stars. And Wentz has been pretty good. I mean, he's got the fumble problem, but he's only 25 years old. It hurts the team. They're going to get a new coach. He's got to start from scratch again. I don't see how this is going to help the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you?
No, then Jalen Hurts comes in, and then they bench him in the third quarter of the last game and put the third string guy in. And there's just a lot of stuff that happened this year with the Eagles that I think a lot of people really don't understand. And probably unless you are in those meeting rooms, it's the only way you're going to really get the full story. But anytime you get a new coach, a new system, new coordinators, it hurts a team because it takes a while, because usually those new coaches bring in the players they want. And so there's going to be a lot of players that will be gone for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to see a lot of new names playing for the Eagles probably next year.
Gus, I brought this up, I think, the last time you were on, and I'll say it again, how you were defending Lamar Jackson to those Pittsburgh talk show hosts. I just love that. And you said it's your kid's favorite player. Am I right? Like, what are you expecting out of Lamar this week against the Bills? You must feel so gratified that this guy's proving the doubters wrong again.
Well, my son Gunnar he's the ultimate stats guy. He loves researching and doing all those things. I think he's watched every one of Lamar's games. And you talk about things that and history and stats of what Lamar has done. He's got one more game to tie Michael Vick's record of 100-yard rushes, I think. And he's just done an amazing thing. He's pretty accurate passer. I mean, I don't think he has the people around him right now to maybe go as far as the Super Bowl this year. Big play receivers. He's been struggling. We finally seen Marquise Brown step up and make some plays last week for him. But the guy's an amazing talent, and I don't think anybody can say that he's not. He does play for a team that's been up and down. I don't know if they go into the Bills and win. It may be 3 feet of snow in Buffalo this week, and he's even said he's never played in snow. But with their run game, I mean, I think they're rushing for over 200 yards a game. I mean, when I think of good playoff football, the run game really, if you can run the ball, you're going to do really well. And, I think the Bills are going to have a good game plan to stop him and that run game and try to make him throw the football. But we'll see what happens. I think it's just going to be a great game. Josh Allen up there has been playing well, so it's going to be a lot of fun to see the Bills go into the second round of the playoffs against the Ravens.
Now, I want to talk about the New England Patriots. The coach had to suffer a losing season. He hasn't had many like that in 21 years. He's used to winning. So what's going to happen now with Cam Newton? Do you think he'll be gone? He's not the quarterback they want there, and the kid from Auburn hasn't shown that much. So I don't think Bill Belichick can do it. He thinks he's magic, but I don't think he is. He's a human being. He got lucky having the great Tom Brady with him for 20 years. Don't you think?
Well, maybe he's not magic, but he does something that wins, right? And you, like you said it yourself, he's made it 21 years straight, and I don't think you can ever look at anybody else to do that. So something about what Bill Belichick does, yes, he did have the greatest quarterback ever to play the game, and that obviously helps. But it's not one guy who wins game, right? There's 11 out there at a time, and he has to coordinate all that. He has to put good players in and out. We've seen him bring top players in. We've seen him cut first rounders that weren't working out. He has a system. That system has been working for him. So what happens next year, I don't know. I personally, I don't see Cam Newton coming back, even though everything I've heard, he's been a great teammate, a great leader, and worked extremely hard. I'm just not a fan of his throwing motion and what he does when he throws the football. And I think that, Coach Belichick will look for somebody a little bit different in that role. But he's going to find the people that fit his system. And, one thing about Coach Belichick, he's always going to have a great defense.
Gus, I got one for you. Well, a viewer, James Henderson, writes in and says, I wish I cared about American football, but I just can't. I don't know why, but I just find it boring compared to the CFL. Look, I get it. You hear it a lot up here in Canada, but they're not playing, James. The NFL is, and that's what we're going to talk about. But your kids are certainly familiar with Pat McAfee, and maybe you probably are too, Gus, with what he's doing. You see that he called the CFL State Fair football last week, and we had a bit of a back and forth, he and I, and he said, don't take it as a shot. I love state fairs. What is your take on this brand of CFL football in terms of respect level, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that, you definitely cannot go against what the CFL has done because they've been around for a long, long time. And their part, they don't call it American football. Obviously, the rules are different, right? But it is still football. They're still hitting, tackling, and doing all the forward pass. There's doing all the things that American football does. I think the difference is that the pay is obviously way different. The fanfare, the amount of people that watch American football compared to the CFL, I don't think I would ever call it state fair football because it's the same thing. And it's just, everybody who plays hockey tries to get to the NHL. Everybody who plays football tries to get to the NFL. It's just the next step up. And that's all I would say, is that it's good football. I've been to CFL games. It's different. Sometimes you have to get used to it because you're used to your rules, right? There's different rules. But other than that, it's still football and it's still hitting. And, I kind of wish my guys could always move at the line of scrimmage and run downfield because that would help me out getting those guys because I didn't always have the fastest receivers.
Yeah, and you know what? On that, if I may, did you watch the Rams-Cardinals game, the last game of the regular season? Arizona had to win to get in. And Chris Streveler just couldn't get it done, right? They pulled him out and put a one-legged Kyler Murray into the game. What do you think Arizona does with Streveler moving forward? Do they give him another chance? Or you said you only get a few chances. You're right. Did Streveler blow it, do you think?
Yeah, you only get a few chances. You got to come in and prove yourself. And, there's not many opportunities. Kyler Murray's going to be healthy. Now, whether the team comes to him and says, look, you got an opportunity to compete for a backup spot or even a third string spot. That's what we'll do. But the NFL is very finicky. You have to prove yourself anytime you get out between those white lines. I've seen a lot of guys make it year after year in the NFL. Then all of a sudden they get their chance to play and they can't cut the mustard because it's not 7-on-7 or practice anymore. I mean, the difference between the game and practice or whatever you think you've been doing is 100% different. The speed, how fast everything moves, the intensity, it ramps up 1,000%. So, hopefully he gets another chance. We'll see what happens. But when you go in and you got an opportunity to really help your team and it doesn't happen, then, there's a lot of people and scouts. There's not just one person making that decision. There's a lot of people. But I hope he gets a chance to play again.
You're right. A lot of necks on the line. Gus, this has been a fantastic update as we've just put on the screen. Enjoying Gus. Check out his podcast, Huddle Up with Gus, at huddleupwithgus.com. I'll continue to wear this bunny hug with pride. Enjoy the games this weekend, Gus, and we'll chat soon.
All right. Hey, Rod, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you getting that nice sweatshirt. I don't know if you could see it. I got my T-shirt on today as well. So the T-shirts are great. But like you said, I don't know where they're made. We got a great guest this week. Plus, my boys are going to be on a Huddle Up with Gus with their guests during the week. So we got a lot going on. It's been a lot of fun. And I appreciate being able to share time with you and you having me on your wonderful show. And thanks for the questions, John.
Okay. A lot of fun.
You bet. All positive. All right. Have a good weekend, Gus.
All right. Take care, fellas. See ya.
Pro Bowl quarterback Gus Frerotte joining us on video chat this morning. When we come back, we'll get to viewer takeover a little early and a sports update on the other side of this break. You're watching a FlameTech Football Friday. FlameTech is your industry leader in combustion services. You're watching on Game Plus TV, live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Updating and improving your air conditioning system does not need to be difficult. You can breathe easy with our 100% satisfaction guarantee, flexible financing options, and maintenance programs. We will be with you throughout the process from start to finish. Contact us today so we can help you breathe a little easier. 306-781-2090.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
As John Frenzy just said, never a dull moment. Sports update, Connor McDavid scored a hat trick and added a helper as the Edmonton Oilers beat the Canucks 5-2 one night after a 5-3 loss against Vancouver. Neon Leon added 4 assists to help the Oilers split the set at Rogers Place. The Nuge scored twice and added a helper for Edmonton. Patrick Laine scored his second goal of the game in overtime, and the Winnipeg Jets started their season with a 4-3 home win over the Calgary Flames. Jacob Markstrom made 30 saves in his Flames debut, but a little leaky, Lynch.
Yeah, a little leaky.
Allowing 4. Brock Nelson, Anders Lee, and Matthew Barzal scored in the opening period, and the New York Islanders beat the New York Rangers 4-0 at MSG. Semyon Varlamov stopped 24 shots for his 28th career shutout. Alexis Lafreniere, the first overall selection, made his debut, had 1 shot on goal, and 15-27 of ice time. Chris Boucher had 25 points and 10 rebounds. Kyle Lowry had 16 points and 12 assists. And the Raptors beat the Charlotte Hornets 111-108 on their home floor in Tampa, Florida. Spicy P added 15 points as the Raps are now 3-8. Christian Wood had 27 points and 15 rebounds, and the Houston Rockets rallied to beat the Spurs 109-105 in their first game since trading franchise cornerstone James Harden. The New York Jets have reached an agreement in principle with 49ers assistant Robert Saleh to become their head coach. He is recognized as an energetic leader who is well-liked by his players. Wouldn't we all like that on our tombstone, Lynch?
Yep.
Meanwhile, Urban Meyer has agreed to become head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Myers won 3 college national championships. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. They can handle all your food and fun needs. Open for lunch today, by the way, right in the heart of the Dewdney Strip. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. To the Facebook feed from our viewers, Ryland Betker writes in and says, "Go, Jets, go!" First period had me worried, but the second, third, and overtime periods looked way better. James Henderson, Jets looked great in the last 2 periods. They did. Jeff Kozak, can't wait to see when you have him on again. He's speaking of Gus Farrat. Very informative and at least knows some CFL stuff.
He's terrific.
From Larry Dye in Medicine Hat. Is there no big ego business person that would want to own a CFL team in Atlantic Canada?
Good.
Hang on. Yeah, good question. Hang on. I'll come back to that. Jennifer Illingworth says they had a little fun fact about the Flames that I didn't know, that now 11 years they have not won their season opener. Crazy. Go Oilers. That from Jennifer. Austin Matthews didn't score in the Leafs season opener for the first time in 5 years, I noticed. And Zach Nelson, who's celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Zach. He says the Flames would have lost in regulation last night if Markstrom didn't make those saves. He allowed 4 goals, chum. End of story. You're not going to win in the NHL allowing 4 goals. And they didn't sign him and give him that amount of money to allow 4 goals. And from viewer Todd Payton, he says, thanks to Ballers Rec Room for hosting the NHL Fantasy last night. Thanks for the invite. I wasn't even aware of it. I wouldn't have gone anyways, but it would have been nice to turn an invitation down. So the guy said, Larry in Medicine Hat, is there no big ego business person who wants to put a team in Halifax? Well, Larry, sure. Where have you been? They've been dancing this dance for how long, Lynch?
About 20 years, but recently only 5. Well, with the Drummond bit. And he's gone further than anybody else.
Look.
And he still feels they're going to make it happen. I call that wishful thinking. Simple as that.
Larry, I think you have Saskatchewan ties to the degree that you understand how things work in this province. You know, it's 6 degrees of separation around the whole world. It's actually 2 degrees of separation here. Right, Frenzy?
Right.
So, Gary Drummond, the billionaire, former owner of the Arizona Coyotes, is the front man trying to land the Atlantic Schooners. Lynch's lawyer is brothers-in-law with Gary, right? So we've been intimately aware of what's been going on with the Atlantic Schooners. He's the guy, and to call him a big ego business person almost seems insulting to Gary. Right, John? Like he's a nice guy.
Very humble guy.
Maybe he's got a big ego, but who doesn't that's successful?
That's right.
Show me somebody that doesn't have confidence, if you will. There's a difference between a big ego and confidence, but I wouldn't say that about Gary. He's treated us like absolute gold.
Yeah, yes. And he believes
so it. He's the guy. But this is where I think, and I'm going to write about this in my column on the weekend, this is where the CFL and the Schooners blew it. They should have played in 2019, and here's why. They announced at the 2018 Grey Cup that they were getting a team. I was there.
Yep.
I saw it with my own eyes. We're sitting here 2021 and there's still no team. So right there is they dropped the ball. But if they'd played in Moncton in 2019, you'd have had a team of free agents that would have included Kevin Glenn and Duron Carter and Chip Cox, and you could go on and on and on and on and on. Nick Lewis might have still played. That's 3 seasons ago now. Yep. You could have had a team already playing in Moncton. We'd have been rolling.
Yep.
So I don't know what the holdup is because nobody ever knew that the pandemic was coming. I get it. But now the stadium thing's dead. That's been talked about by Halifax City Council. That we're not building a stadium in Halifax because of the pandemic. You're going to have to go to Moncton. You should have done it 3 years ago anyways.
Moncton is a better place to go to. More
Absolutely.
More sports fans, a couple of college teams. Yeah, they should be in Moncton. They didn't do a business study of what was the best for the area. I don't know. Somebody told them they had to go to Halifax, and that was it. But I don't understand.
Actually, quite the contrary. Gary Drummond on this show said they did do a business study and learned that they shouldn't go to Moncton. They should go to Halifax. And I think, what are these studies? They make good fire starters, what they do. I'm just, so how does that help? From Jamie Neugebauer watching today. He says, is owning a CFL team a good business move anywhere? Not now, it's not. Robin and Prince Albert, what happens first? A CFL team in Halifax or Bo Levi on the RP show?
That's a great question, eh? That's a real good one.
From Randolph Zora, how do you become a millionaire owning a CFL team? Start out being a billionaire. Nugsy goes on to say, I remember seeing red-black stuff around Halifax. They do absolutely love football out there. Also, how many good St. Mary's and Acadia U teams have there been to provide players?
Quite a few.
Yeah, so what's the holdup? That's the point.
The city council, they say, eh?
Well, they're not getting a stadium.
No.
So move on.
Yeah.
If that's what you're waiting for, here you sit, holding your you-know-what 3 years later.
Too bad. It's too bad. It really is. Would have been great for Canada.
We got a full text line, and we'll get to those when we come back for Viewer Takeover. And on the way today, Tori Gurley, our NFL insider with Tori's tips, and Shaq Murray-Lawrence, CFL veteran, a member of the Canadian national bobsled team. That's a fact. He's coming up in hour 2. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live daily, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
IKS Live, Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals, video production, event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website, IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Updating and improving your air conditioning system does not need to be difficult. You can breathe easy with our 100% satisfaction guarantee, flexible financing options, and maintenance programs. We will be with you throughout the process from start to finish. Contact us today so we can help you breathe a little easier. 306-781-2090.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Just an absolute fantastic day here on FlameTech Football Friday, and I'm going to jump into more of our discussion of the Atlantic Schooners. Ryan Kowalik says Moncton is the more central Atlantic province, for sure. Brian Eitenauer says, why are we worried about Halifax? There may be 9 more cities without a CFL team real soon. Greg Klevgard says, what's the franchise fee for a CFL team? Can't be much. Well, let's look into what it was for Ottawa the last time it's around. Mike Blackbird joining us from Toronto. He says, if they don't have a season, I'll agree. You'll agree to what? The poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Let's update that. Which underdog will win this weekend in the NFL divisional playoff round? Rams, Ravens, Browns, or Bucks? On Twitter, the leader is the Bucks with 34% of the vote. On Facebook, the Bucks leading with 40% of the vote. So it's a tight one. Going to be some great games in the National Football League this weekend. To the Prairie Mobile text line. What do we have here? From the 291, DG writing in, says, morning, guys. This is a message for the NHL. I see sponsor logos on everyone's helmet. Fantastic. But I see no sponsors on the refs' helmets. Consider this the beginning of the campaign to get the RP Show logo on the ref helmets. Let's make this happen. I'd be all in. Stephen in North Dakota writes in and says, how long till RP Show stickers are on the WHL, SJHL helmets? Don't let the uniforms turn into NASCAR gear. I think the PGA limits players to 6 logos. That's from Stephen in North Dakota, Frenzy.
Yeah.
Brady in Saskatoon says, hey, Rod McDavid with one heck of a night last night. 3 goals, 1 assist. Line 8, 2 goals, 1 assist as well. Blue Jays keep missing out on free agents. Sounds like they put out an offer for Lemieux and were close to signing him, but he decided to sign with the Yankees. My picks for the divisional round, Packers, Ravens, Saints, Chiefs. He's going with all favorites, save for Buffalo. Zach in Calgary. Hey, Rod, it's my 20th birthday today. Didn't we wish him happy birthday? Loved the Dave Randorf interview. Can't wait to watch the show every Friday now. That's from Zach in Calgary, where they love us.
They do.
Jack in Vulcan, Alberta. Bo is Bo. This young man is the hardest worker on the team, and yes, he upsets the opposing teams in media. But Bo Levi Mitchell wins. Last time I checked, I got to guess how he ended it, what they're paid to do. We're out of time. We'll see you next hour with Tori Gurley and Shaq Murray Lawrence, everybody. Oh, no. We got 20 seconds left. I'm sorry. I'm hearing voices all over. I'm hearing voices in my head, Lynch. Stick with us into hour 2. Game Plus TV, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube Live. Tori Gurley and Shaq Murray Lawrence will be joining us from Germany. Stick around, y'all.
He felt sorry for Mike Riley last night. Walking off the field, he looked so disappointed.
The show's over, Lynch.
And hurt. Oh, is it? Okay.
Stop talking football.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150, Explorer, or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait, do it right now.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
The draft is next for the National Hockey League, so you now know where you're going with that.
I think there's going to be some fascinating things that are going to happen, at least going to try and happen. Look, teams are not going to be able to stand pat. That's a given.
How about that?
Because don't forget, 48 hours after the day 2 of the draft, free agency hits. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things going on in the National Hockey League.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is Good Morning Canada, or good afternoon to our Eastern Canadian friends. Welcome to the RP Show on a FlameTech Football Friday. Coming in hot on Game Plus TV across all 10 provinces and 31 states. And a big howdy do to the crew in downtown Toronto operating at the Game Plus controls. You notice John Frenzy joining us in the bunker here. Darren Dupont has not aged. He's getting like almost the day off. Moose Dupont is sitting in his office. John Frenzy's here, the Hall of Fame Saskatchewan Roughriders broadcaster. And Frenzy, it's a really big football weekend, hey?
Yeah, it sure is. Fantastic weekend coming up. Unbelievable. Going to be very, very exciting. And I think that first game, the Rams going into Green Bay is going to be quite something because the Rams are playing well, but the Packers with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, they want to win the Grey Cup this year. Or the Grey Cup.
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
Well, he's still hung up in CFL thinking, and that's where we're going to go with our Quick Six show topics in a minute. I just want to tell you that we've got special guests on the program today in the form of one CFL player and one CFL alum. Our NFL insider, Tori Gurley, qualifies as the CFL alum. He's also a former Green Bay Packer and Cleveland Brown wideout. He'll be with us in Block 2 of the program today. And Shaq Murray-Lawrence, I'm not sure who he's with anymore. 3 years with the BC Lions, 2019 with the Montreal Alouettes, and, of course, didn't play football in 2020. He is now on the Canadian national bobsled team. Shaq Murray-Lawrence. I know, it's unbelievable. It's mind-blowing. Yeah. He's a Scarborough, Ontario kid.
Quite an athlete.
He'll be joining us today to talk about that. But let's jump into the Quick Six show topics, please, on this Friday. Here's what we're talking about. And I advise the viewers, just hang on. We'll get to your comments in a minute. Lynch was particularly impressed with one, Lewis Lawner, writing from St. Louis, Missouri. And he says, the snow has finally showed up here. Greetings from St. Louis, hoping for a CFL season. Rooting for the Packers. No one in St. Louis likes the Rams. So just throwing that out there. Our viewers in the Show Me State today. But number one, there's CFL news this morning. Where's my breaking news bell? Here it is. Out of Winnipeg, the reigning Grey Cup champions have agreed to a one-year contract extension with Andrew Harris. I was on the radio at TSN 1290 Winnipeg this morning with Jim and Troy, and we were talking about this, and they were like throwing confetti in the air that the Bombers have signed the reigning Grey Cup MVP and the most outstanding player of that game. Westwood asked if Andrew Harris is going down in history as the greatest Canadian running back ever. I'm a fan of John Cornish. Frenzy, it's between the two of them. Is it not? Or is there one of your era that you would think, a Canadian running back that would join those three?
Yeah, there is, Rod. His name was Normie Kwong, the China Clipper. Absolutely fantastic from, 1953 to 1971. Unbelievable football player. Could block, carry the football. A member of the great Edmonton teams when they won 3 Grey Cups in 53 to 55 with Johnny Bright beside him. Unbelievable combination. Impossible to stop those two. I have to think that Normie Kwong had speed, power, moves. Wasn't as fast as both those guys, but boy, he was a tough guy to bring down.
Lynch, you are a literal walking encyclopedia.
But I bet you most people don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's why we have you here.
And
historical perspective.
He wound up being his career in the world. Sounds creepy to say that, but as a lieutenant governor of Alberta, and he's deceased now, which is too bad.
I don't think there's anything creepy about that at all. But anyways, those are the three. Andrew Harris, John Cornish, and Normie Kwong. That's pretty esteemed company. But my take on the CFL is, I've been talking to people in the media in major markets across this country. They're not really paying attention to what's going on. They're all in the CFL. They're all in on the NHL. Okay, with the media people I've talked to, and they see these news releases and restructured deals. And I just got to say, guys, the news that I'm interested in from the CFL is, are you going to play? That's all I want to know. Don't talk to me about pay cuts. Don't talk to me about new deals and extensions. Are you playing or not? Because if you're not playing, nobody's getting paid. That's just me. I can't speak for everybody, but the news I want to know from the CFL is if you're going to play in 2021 or not.
When do they have to announce that by?
Isn't that the $64,000 question? Because some have said to me, the end of January, they're going to need an announcement. And I said, or what? And hence you find the limbo that the CFL continues to find itself in. Yeah. We'll come back on this, but point two NFL coach hirings. There were 7 openings in the NFL for head coaches. 2 have been filled. The Jets have hired Robert Saleh, former San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator, and the Jacksonville Jaguars have hired Urban Meyer, he of OSU fame. The big question out of there is they've got the number 1 overall pick, Jacksonville. Everybody thinks they'll take Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson, the star quarterback. But Lynch, Justin Fields with the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
With OSU's history with Urban Meyer.
He coached him.
Exactly. And likely recruited him.
Recruited him there. So he loves Justin Fields. I know that. Very interesting. But he'll get a quarterback. He'll certainly improve the quarterback position in Jacksonville with that choice this year. So going into next year, they're going to have a top-notch coach. I think this guy's a real winner, by the way. And a good quarterback who's played in big competition and been a winner, whether it's Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence.
Moving to point 3. It's our poll question today. How did I word that? Can you put it up on the screen? Yeah, thanks, Clark. Thanks, producer Clark. Which underdog will win in the NFL divisional playoffs this weekend? It's a little different wording than what TSN Radio in Winnipeg put out today. Theirs was which favorite will lose. Ours is which underdog will win. And 40% of the people agree with me on Facebook voting, which tells me that they're right. It will be Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. John Lynch, however, has voted for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
What it means is 4 tremendous football games this weekend.
Sure are.
In the NFL.
How about the L.A. Rams going into Green Bay, eh? that's going to be a tough one for them, but they played very well lately. That big upset, of course, over Seattle. They look good, even though the quarterback position, the guy's got a sore thumb, but they're still playing pretty well. They got a great defense, an unbelievable defense. So I think that game, the first game of the weekend at, 3:35 on Saturday tomorrow, will be a sensational football game.
Colin McAnulty, one of our P1s from the Rod Squad watching in Ottawa, he says if the Jaguars pass on Trevor Lawrence, then all the football ops staff should be fired. I won't agree or disagree, but I can tell you there's going to be a lot of drama around the opening night of the NFL draft. For that very reason right there. Point 4, Thursday night's NHL Leftovers. What a night in the National Hockey League on night 2. I was glued to my set, like many of you in Winnipeg, watching the Jets and the Calgary Flames. Wonderful pregame ceremony at Bell MTS Center. And in the end, Patrick Laine scored twice, including the overtime winner, and the Jets won 4-3. It was amazing. And what I came out of that game saying is, Patrick Laine, you could make a real case that he's the best player on the Winnipeg Jets hockey team. Therefore, you do not trade him if you don't have to.
Very well put.
Peter Pocklington traded Wayne Gretzky because he needed the cash.
Yeah.
So don't compare anybody to Wayne Gretzky in that situation. The players to this day say, well, even Wayne Gretzky got traded. Do you remember why? The owner was broke. Yeah. He sold him. Yeah. And if you don't need to trade Patrick Laine, then don't, because he's your best player. Yeah. Now, up the road in Edmonton, the Oilers came to life, or as I'm calling them, the Edmonton McOilers, because there's really only one guy going. 2, really. Leon Draisaitl is the other one. But you can't have 2 stars and 18 other guys. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, yeah, they're flash and dash and fun to watch, but they're not going to win anything.
Well, they made a lot of changes in the offseason and got some pretty good players in there like Barry and Curtis. And I mean, I think that they could improve. They should improve. And this guy's a good coach. Dave Tippett did a great job in Dallas. Not so good in Vegas, but he's a good coach.
Arizona.
So,
whoa. He got them to the conference final in 2012.
Well,
don't forget with Arizona.
Well, he's a good coach. He's been a winner. He knows what it's all about. And I would say if a guy like him can't do it with that hockey team, I don't know who can.
Wayne in Victoria, BC is watching. He says, Rod, do you know why the Jets-Flames game was blacked out in BC? I can only suggest because you're not in their region. You're in the Canucks region. I think you got to do what I've done and broken down and shelled out the dough to NHL.com and Center Ice and buy the package for every game. Come on, it's worth it. And reason it this way. Mrs. P and I were going to go to the Florida Keys this winter. How much do you think that was going to cost? This here is a tiny fraction of that. I get every game at my fingertips every night. It lasts longer. What do we got? Breaking news. No, you don't. My prompter's not working. Prompter's not working. What's the breaking news? This must be big. This better be big. Oh. Well, this is great. Oh, sure, now you tell me. We knew this in the break at the top of the hour. The Saskatchewan government has announced funding for junior hockey in the province. Each of the 5 WHL teams will get $600,000 each, while the SJHL as a league gets $1 million. That from Taylor Shire of Global Television. Thank you. 1 minute ago. So that is big news. Ding for the junior hockey fans here in this province. You know the rest of the provinces are going to be howling frenzy.
Yep.
Oh, Saskatchewan's doing this.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
So thank you guys for that.
Good move.
I wasn't done yet. On the Vegas Golden Knights, they won 5-2 over the Anaheim Ducks. I didn't get the game. That's why I bought the Center Ice package, because I didn't have the game. And I panicked because I really wanted to watch Gary Lawless and the Vegas Golden Knights. So I went to the stats on the Score app, immediately went to who was in goal for Vegas. Yeah. And it was Robin Lehner, not Marc-Andre Fleury. So, yeah, I don't know that that's going to end well. That whole argument there in Vegas between the goal. He's the number one. Marc-Andre Fleury is the second most famous person in Las Vegas, Lynch. That's behind, right. Who do you think's number one?
Brent Musburger. I don't know.
Wayne Newton.
Of course.
Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton, of course, yeah.
Donka Shane.
Yeah. As a singer, you're a sewing machine.
More Saskatchewan sporting news. This came from Sask Curl yesterday, and it has ramifications across the country. These are big names. Team Dunstone, who made it all the way to the Brier semifinal last year. Team Dunstone will represent Saskatchewan at the Brier in Calgary. Team Sherry Anderson will represent Saskatchewan at the National Women's, the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. And my take on that is simply this. The losers, if you will, the teams that did not get anointed the provincial reps, went on Twitter and announced concession speeches and wished good luck to Team Dunstone and Sherry Anderson. Most other sports, they're complaining, stomping their feet, and going nuts. Yeah. And it just reiterated the classy nature of curling and why people love it so much.
Yeah.
Point 6, the Raptors won in Tampa, which is their home court, 111-108 over the Charlotte Hornets. Raptors now 3-8, and I'd love to see a statistics number as to what their chances are of making the playoffs. I know it's still way too early to count them out, but it doesn't look good. Those are our quick 6 show topics. Our rock star of the day for Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions on Thursday was Mike Richards of Saga 960 Radio in Mississauga. And that's saying a lot because he beat out Dave Randorf, the voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Thursday. Can you believe that, Frenzy?
No, I can't.
But Mike Richards was just so entertaining yesterday. Talking about teasing the Prime Minister. Insurgents on Capitol Hill in Ottawa. I couldn't believe what was coming out of his mouth. And rolling Justin Trudeau in the mud. Roll him in the mud. What else do we have? Back to that breaking news. They're very excited here in Saskatchewan, and people are writing in like crazy on the viewers. Greg Klevgard, the dub is on. Fantastic. From Gary Lincoln in Winnipeg, great news for the SJHL. From Jennifer Illingworth, she says, I'm thinking Fleury is going to Seattle. She's talking about Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yep.
They can only protect one goalie, so you're right.
When do they put that team together? Pretty soon?
It'll be this spring.
Possibly this spring.
Before the NHL draft.
They're going to be in the ice this year, or this year. 21-22, definitely coming.
Colin McElnulty in Ottawa says Elton John is way more famous than either The Flower or Wayne Newton. Well, Colin, does Elton John live in Las Vegas? I don't think he does. We're talking about people that get their mail in Las Vegas, i.e., it's their permanent residence. Come on. Out of all these things, Lynch, where do we go from here? It was interesting because we had all the NFL talk in hour 1 with Gus Farrat. And I'll remind you that as of February 1st, we won't have to discuss hour 1 or hour 2 or an hour that you didn't see because both hours will be live right here on Game Plus Television.
I want to know.
Well, people really wanted to talk about the Atlantic Schooners. And these are from viewers from all across the country, by the way, not just here in the sweatpants capital. Why are they so fixated on the Atlantic Schooners?
I don't know. They are, though. A lot of people want that team to be there, but they're not the right people, I guess. I don't know. It's very hard to figure. That mayor, both the mayors we've talked to, very non-committal, not very enthused about the thing at all. Maybe we got to get Miss Masters down there as a mayor for a month or two and get things going, from Regina. I don't know. It's too bad because it'd go over so big. It'd be so great. People I know down there, they live in Regina, and we're great Rider fans here, say the atmosphere is the same. It would be a real thing, a natural thing. But if you get a mayor who doesn't know what a football is, who doesn't care, it makes it rather difficult to push it through. But I don't know why. I say that, I'm speaking on both sides of my mouth, but they've got college football, good college football. Acadia, another one there. They're two.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. Two great schools have been champions of the the University Football League in Canada for years on different occasions. So they know what football's all about, and they know what good Canadians are all about, and they know what the CFL is really all about. I just don't see why somebody hasn't got off their bottom and made the big move. And there's something there we don't know.
Right. Well, it's hard to make projections on these things when we don't have all the facts.
Right.
But I'll say it again. Very big news here in Saskatchewan, and I'm wondering how much this filters across the country. The province announcing $600,000 per WHL team to play this year and $1 million to the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League as a league. So Peter Mills of the CBC tweeting it, Taylor Shire of Global tweeting it. So there you go. That's taken up half the screen, for goodness sakes. But I know a lot of people tuning in and wanting to know our thoughts. All was not dead. 24 hours ago, the Saskatchewan Hockey Association announcing there wasn't expected to be hockey until the end of March. And all of a sudden, boom, a complete reversal. This is for top flight junior hockey. Doesn't mean as much for the AAA leagues and AA and so forth.
That's fantastic, eh?
We will break and be back in a moment with Tori Gurley, our NFL insider. You are watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television Network, daily on YouTube Live, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
You need to adapt and you need to move forward. You can't be stuck in 1920. Direct West is on the top of their game. They know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and when you work with Direct West, things are good. There's no going backwards, they're moving forward. My business would not be where it is today without the help of Direct West to help me with my website and my Facebook and all my online presence. I've worked with Direct West for about 10 years, and it's been a great experience.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, welcome back to the program, everybody. Hall of Fame Rough Riders broadcaster John Frenzy is with us. And this breaking news, just ahead of bringing in our NFL insider Tori Gurley, is that the Saskatchewan government is going to fund A return to play of hockey for junior teams in Saskatchewan, $600,000 each to the WHL teams and $1 million to the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. And it's the reactions already avalanching in. My phone's gone off. People saying, is this just for the teams to stay alive or for them to play? And it's been very clearly laid out to me, it's to play. They are returning to the ice. And from Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, would you mind putting that up on the screen? He says, you do it for one. You do it for all? As much as the dub is classified as minor sports, it is still a business. Do we see a similar cash injection to prop up CFL teams across the country? Where do you draw the line? Didn't take long, did it, Lynch?
It sure didn't. I was expecting that.
They're funding junior hockey, and then the CFL fans say, where's ours?
Yeah.
So anyways, let's move on and bring in Tori Gurley now for some very exciting NFL talk as we head into the divisional playoff round. We got John Frenzy with a list of questions for you, Tori, but I'll say happy Friday to you, sir. How was your week?
It's going well, extremely busy. Obviously, we have football playoffs is going on, and I'm excited to see the matchups this weekend.
The matchups are, as you know, the Rams at the Packers, the Ravens at the Bills, the Browns at the Chiefs, and the Buccaneers at the Saints. And I'll start with this. Our poll question is, which underdog wins? I voted for the Buccaneers. They're leading our polls. Who do you see pulling off an upset this weekend?
I hate to say this, but I think the Cleveland Browns can upset the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, my God.
Why? It's scary. It is so scary. I've been in this situation before. When I was in Green Bay, we were the number one team. We're 15-1. We took the week off before week 16, so Aaron didn't play in week 16. Then we had the bye week, and then we had to play in the playoff game. So that was 3 weeks where Aaron was not on the field. And a similar situation is about to happen for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's been 3 weeks since he's played, and the Cleveland Browns are just rolling. I don't know what's going on in Cleveland. There's something in the water where these guys are really trying to be road warriors, and it's scary because it happens every year where a wild card team just jumps up and beats a juggernaut, and that's football. And that's the thing about it. It's not like the NBA Finals or the playoffs where you get 5 games. You only have to be great for 1 game. So the Kansas City Chiefs are on upset alert.
Okay, just before Frenzy, I got to ask you, how did the Browns win in Pittsburgh? And I saw pundits say, and you probably did too, that they didn't win it. The Steelers lost it. They gave it to them. Is that insulting in your mind, given the fact they went in without a head coach and no practice? Like, how did they do it?
Yeah, nothing is given in the NFL. Everything is earned. So when you go out there and you go on a road and you beat that team and you punch them in the mouth, those guys were focused, and that's the thing about, we're all human. Like, we all felt that way about Cleveland. It's Cleveland. And Cleveland were the only guys that believed it was us against the world, and they went out and proved it against Pittsburgh. They executed on offense. Defensively, they made Ben Roethlisberger turn the ball over. Juju Smith-Schuster was more worried about his TikTok than going out there winning a playoff game. And ultimately, the Browns came out with the victory. So you never can take an opponent lightly, especially in the playoffs, because they will humble you.
Corey, I got to ask you this one. My favorite coach, one of the great coaches in college football, 3 national championships, Urban Meyer, going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you think? Can he do it? Was it he's never coached in the NFL before. Can he make that change?
Yeah, of course he can coach in the NFL. I don't know how successful he's going to be because now he doesn't have the talent of being able just to recruit. In the NFL, it's all about scouting, and you really can't manipulate guys coming to your team. See, at Ohio State, those guys were a monopoly where kids were doing whatever it took to be at Ohio State or Florida Gators when he was coaching there. So now in the NFL, everyone is professionals, and we're really going to see if he has what it takes to coach pro sports.
Well, quarterback-wise, he's going to get the first-round draft choice. He'll either take Lombard from Clemson or
Lawrence
or his old buddy.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields from Ohio State, because he knows him real well. Both are good quarterbacks. Both are rated 1 and 2, the top 2 prospects this year. How do you see that?
Yeah, he was at the game when they played in the playoff game, Ohio State versus Clemson, and he got to scout both guys. It really doesn't matter who you take. I feel like both quarterbacks are extremely talented, but it's Jacksonville. You're rebuilding, so it's not like you're playing college ball anymore. Like now you have to play against the Tom Brady's, the Drew Breeses, the Patrick Mahomes of the world. And so when you compare Trevor Lawrence or Patrick Mahomes to his counterparts, you're not even going to think twice about it. Like you're going to continue to bank on guys like Aaron and those elite quarterbacks to get jobs done. So we will see how these guys transition from college to NFL, and hopefully Urban can get it done. But if not, at least he's collecting another big payday like he's always done in his coaching career.
Tori, what are your thoughts on the Brady versus Breeze matchup? It's a novelty, right? They're 85 years of age combined. Today, I believe, is Drew Brees' 42nd birthday, I think today. How do you see that game playing out?
Bunch of old guys, but you know what? This is what makes football extremely fun because they've experienced it all. They're savvy vets, been in the league 18-plus years. So defensively, there isn't too much that gets by them. They understand what they see, but it's all about execution. Sean Payton and Drew Brees, they have a great rapport and chemistry, and hopefully those guys can go out and play well. And with Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, it's been a rocky road, but everybody knows exactly how TB12 locks in this time of the year. You know, he is one of the best to ever do it. And for us to sit back and be able to watch this this coming weekend, we should enjoy it while we can.
Lynch fired a bunch of questions at Gus Frerotte last hour, and I'm going to put them to you. Same questions. How did you feel about the Eagles firing Doug Pedersen, and that it looks like it came down to Carson Wentz versus Doug Pedersen, and the quarterback won? And I was telling Frenzy that you're buddies with Jalen Hurts, so maybe you have some inside info. What's your take on this whole deal?
Yeah, it's bad. It's one of those situations where in sports, the money stays. And literally when you have a $100 million quarterback that you just paid, you have to place blame on someone. So they can't get rid of Carson Wentz because of the contract situation. So they find a way to sweep it under the rug by firing a coach and making it look like they're cleaning things up. But ultimately, they still have a problem in Philadelphia. You have two quarterbacks. You have one guy that's overpaid, and you have another guy that's inexperienced but has the ability to be the guy. And that's going to put the owner and the general manager in a delicate situation when it comes to moving forward, because you can't have two quarterbacks on one team.
And can you have the owner firing the head coach like they did with Leary coming down and say, heck, we got to get rid of the coach so we can keep Carson Wentz happy? I mean, really a stupid situation, don't you think?
Yeah, that's what the owner can do, but unfortunately it's truly not going to help. You know, it's just a Band-Aid when someone needs surgery. So they're still going to have this problem going into next year when Carson Wentz starts playing bad, and whenever COVID is lifted and you have, 70, 80,000 Philadelphia fans in Lincoln Field, they're going to be upset. They're going to be pissed off that Carson isn't playing well, and they're going to want to hear Jalen Hurts. They're going to want to see him in a game. And it just puts you back in the same situation you're in now. So hopefully they can get it together. If not, it's just going to be a disaster next year.
One more for Tori Gurley, our NFL insider. You're sitting in Toronto. You're so connected in NCAA, NFL, and CFL. What's the buzz from your circle with the Canadian Football League for 2021 and where we sit here today?
A lot of guys are still sitting in limbo. Like from the players I've spoke to over the past, players have just decided to handle business by taking care of their family and just having a job where, they're somewhat putting off football. And I don't blame them, because you don't want to be in a fluid situation where one day they tell you're going to play and then the next day they switch up the rules on you. And my heart always goes out to the player, because I know exactly what it's like to be in that situation. And I just hope eventually the government and everyone else can come up to a agreement where they're going to stick with something and they just roll.
Well, you wonder what's going on, though. The Saskatchewan Roughriders announced now another quarterback signing last week. We now have 5 quarterbacks. Never had that many going into the season. 5 with pretty good credentials. So it looks to me like the Roughriders are serious, and they've told us that we're going to play this year. And on June the 10th, Sunday, June the 10th, the Montreal Alouettes will be in Saskatchewan to open the season. Now, some people are believing that. And the schedule's been sent out to all the season ticket holders. So the Riders are trying to create a real positive scene. And they must have something in their minds, what they can do to make it happen.
I truly hope so, because I would love to fly out there, Kim and I, and watch the game and support the Canadian Football League. So I applaud them for moving forward and having an optimistic mindset. But until we hear something from the government, I really can't, hold true to it until it comes from them, because ultimately they're the ones that dictate exactly what's going on in this profession.
Well, Tori, you would be the prized feature of our tailgate party. Wouldn't he be lynched at the Armory, right beside the stadium with the Canadian Armed Forces? My gosh.
You got to come and see it.
It'd be like a petting zoo.
Yeah, it's great. It really is.
I'm cooking. That's what I want to do. I want to go out there and barbecue.
Clark just said that. You'll be the cook. Can you imagine Tori's Grill? We'll open Tori's Grill at the tailgate party.
I hope we can do it.
The soldiers would love it.
I hope it happens, Tori.
It's a date.
They sent out the season tickets, so I don't know what that means. But
yeah, exactly. It's a date. Tori, we'll let you go. Enjoy the games, my friend, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks for having me.
You betcha. Our NFL insider, Tori Gurley, CFL insider, too. I don't know where my Kia hat is, but his appearances every week brought to you by Wheaton Kia. You can find them in North Regina at the corner of Albert and Avonhurst. And John Frenzy, put the camera on. Yeah, he's got his Kia shirt on, too, as well. But they've been looking at it all show.
They have, yeah.
So there you go. All right. Thank you, Frenzy.
Been a great
morning. When we come back, Shaq Murray-Lawrence. This is an interview that I'm so looking forward to. CFL veteran, UNLV alum, and a member of Canada's national bobsled team. That's next. Sports update and viewer takeover as well. It's the RP Show, and you're watching on Game Plus Television. Live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait. Do it right now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
All right, Moose DuPont will be here. Trust me, he will be here because we have the face-off segment coming up later on for the Ultimate Fan Zone and the Mad Greek Restaurant. Just before Shaq Murray-Lawrence joins us, we do have breaking news today. The Saskatchewan government announcing they'll be funding the teams of the Western Hockey League here, 5 of them, and the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, 11 of them. $600,000 for the dub teams, $1 million for the SJHL as a league. And the question is that for their own survival or for a return to play? And I've been told in no uncertain terms it is for a return to play. If that's incorrect, somebody please let me know on my personal line or the Prairie Mobile text line. But for now, they're popping champagne corks around the 306. All right, Shaq Murray-Lawrence, been following this guy's career for a long time, calling his games. Of course, bust onto our scene with the BC Lions in 2015, where he spent 3 seasons, and then the Montreal Alouettes in 2019. And then we kind of lost track of him like everybody else in the CFL in 2020. And then we find out he's on a bobsled. Shaq Murray-Lawrence, welcome to the RP Show today. Happy New Year, my friend. What is your story, my man? What is going on with you?
Well, I mean, COVID hit and didn't really have anything to do. You know, everybody was kind of sitting around in limbo. And the Canada bobsled team reached out to me back in 2017. But I was involved in a car accident, so didn't go out, missed a couple seasons, you know. Got picked up by Saskatchewan Rough Riders, was on the practice squad, just kind of getting healthy. Went to the Alouettes, failed a medical. You know, when things finally started getting rolling, you know, we got hit with COVID. So finally I got my opportunity, you know, to come out to participate, you know, and earn a spot on the Team Canada team.
Now, your agent told me that you just recently competed in Germany. Like, what has your schedule been like here recently?
Recently, it's been pretty much everyday training, you know, training or working on the sled, just working on our craft, you know, just trying to get better and get ready for the Olympics.
Well, it's interesting that you said that Team Canada reached out for you. We all know Jesse Lumsden, of course, right? Lummer, Canadian running back in a Hike Crichton winner with McMaster, has done this before you. So is Team Canada actively recruiting Canadian fullbacks, running backs like yourself, or what? Did he pave the road for you somewhat?
I think he did pave the way, and I think the mold just for the bobsled athlete, you know, football kind of goes hand in hand, you know, with just the speed and power and all the things necessary to push the sled, you know, at a high rate of speed and get in. I think football is just one of those sports that go hand in hand.
Viewer Greg Clevgard writes in and he says, "Cool runnings, man. Congratulations." Were you familiar with the John Candy movie, or if not, when did that get on your radar, the Jamaican bobsled team?
Honestly, I was familiar with it, you know, growing up. But as soon as I got on the team, that's all I heard was just cool runnings, you know, every reference, cool runnings this, cool runnings that. You know, I got the dreadlocks. My mom's actually Jamaican, so, you know, it's very familiar to us.
Well, obviously now it's a flood of questions to me. This is a very uplifting, positive story. Can you please compare to me being a member of the Canadian national bobsled team to being a CFL player? What are the differences? What's the training like? What's your life like? What's the travel like? Are they similar at all?
I would say the travel a lot further, obviously. Right now we're in Switzerland, and we just left Germany, just competed in the Euro Cup. So travel for me is completely different. You stay at a place for a week instead of, a couple days or whatever, getting ready for a game. Training, all similar stuff, big, heavy lifts, a lot of sprinting, a lot of running. The film for me is the same, kind of approach it the same way. And that's pretty much it. Everything is kind of similar. I would say being a member of Team Canada is a little bit more prideful, than being a part of a CFL organization that can cut you at any point or whatever,
My apologies for not being too up with bobsled terminology. I'll watch it at the Olympics. But what position are you, Shaq?
So I'm a brakeman in the four-man. So pretty much I'm the last guy to get in at my position. So you have two side guys and you got a pilot, and I'm the last guy, which has to be the fastest guy.
Wow. So where do you go from here? Again, I'm not familiar with it. I'm expecting to see you guys at the Winter Olympics because you're Canada. This is what we do. What do you have to do to get there?
Just keep competing. Right now we're on the World Cup circuit, just trying to rack up some medals and just improve our rankings, qualify as many sleds as we can. Right now we got 2 sleds qualified, and, we're working on a third one just to get more athletes to the games. And that's pretty much it, man. Just getting ready for next year.
I hope you don't mind my rapid fire questions at you, Shaquille, but I'm fascinated by this, obviously. Do you ever anticipate a return to the CFL at all, or is this your future path now?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think I'm far from done playing football. This was just an avenue, an opportunity that opened up to me. And I just said, why not? Why not go out and compete instead of being at home, probably doing nothing, So this was just another opportunity to keep competing at a high level, and representing my country.
Well, there's also never really been a clause in CFL contracts that you can't do other things outside of your contract. I would assume right now that you classify as a free agent anyways. But as far as being a dual sport athlete, Lummer did it after his CFL career, if I'm not mistaken. You're doing it during your CFL career. So how do you think that would work in terms of cross-training and so forth?
It's something I talked about, with coaches on both sides. I know before I came out here, I reached out to Kahari. Me and Kahari have a great relationship. He was with me in BC, and just kind of told him, I wanted to come out and pursue this, and he was behind me. The rest of the coaches were behind me. Everyone was excited, so there was no clashing involved in that.
You know what? I know Kahari very well. And I could just imagine the conversation, him grinning ear to ear. He's probably thinking this is going to make you a better football player. Am I right?
Right. Oh, yeah, completely. Better football player, better athlete, This is a very explosive sport, downhill, so a lot of overspeed training, and it'll just lead right into the season. I play football. Right after the football season's done, put the bike helmet back on, the bobsled helmet back on, and get ready for the games, man.
Yeah, just don't get hurt. That's the other thing. But I think just think of these great experiences that you're having traveling around the world. Kahari is such a universal big thinker. That's why I get it. And he did a lot of things outside of football too, and it's made him a better person for it. But I'll say this. You're from Scarborough, and I recall calling those games Rough Riders against the Lions, and I'm like, Shaq Murray-Lawrence, you were primarily a kick returner, right? And I'm looking at this as UNLV, and I'm like, he's Canadian? But we're at a point now in Canadian football where that it's not shocking that Canadians are playing in NCAA at high levels. We're seeing that, right. And now it's not a shock anymore to see a stud player like yourself that's from Scarborough. So I'm sure you're itching to get back on a football field too. Maybe we'll end on that. What is your take on the CFL for 2021 and beyond? What are your plans?
Honestly, my plans are just, focus on the World Cup tour. We got World Cup, we got World Championships coming up. So take care of business first and foremost. And then when it's time to worry about football, kind of just switch to that football mode. I think the season is still up in the air. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know, if COVID's going to stick around another year, 2 years, but I'd rather not wait and just, kind of sitting around like we did last year.
Moving on with your life, and I should have known. One day at a time, worry about what's right in front of you, and that's why you've had the success that you've had. Shaquille, thanks for the time. I appreciate New World Agency for hooking us up. Now I'm the biggest fan of Canadian bobsled. We'll be watching now. Good luck, man, and all the best in 2021.
Thank you, Rod. Thanks for having me.
All right, Shaq Murray-Lawrence from the Canadian National Men's Bobsled Team, and also of the Montreal Alouettes. I want to do a sports update before we break and then bring Dupes in here for the face-off and overtime. Andrew Harris is back. Breaking news this morning for another year with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The veteran running back signed a one-year contract extension with his hometown team today. But the 33-year-old Winnipegger says he was more than willing to commit to a longer deal. Financial details weren't divulged, but many CFL players have re-signed for less money, with the league having not operated in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Harris said the extension was never about money. The Raptors are back in the win column following their 111-108 victory Thursday night over the Charlotte Hornets in Tampa. Kyle Lowry added 16 points and 12 assists. Chris Boucher led with 25 points and 10 rebounds as the Raps improved to 3-8. The Boston Celtics expect their week-long COVID-19 break to end today when they're scheduled to host the Orlando Magic. 3 of Boston's games were postponed this week. In all, 8 NBA games since Sunday have been postponed, including tonight's Wizards-Pistons game in Detroit. Connor McDavid had a hat trick and added an assist as the Edmonton Oilers beat the Canucks 5-2 at Rogers Place one night after losing 5-3 against Vancouver. Meanwhile, Patrick Laine scored his second goal of the game in overtime, and the Winnipeg Jets started their season with a 4-3 home win at home over the Calgary Flames. The Maple Leafs and Senators renew their Battle of Ontario tonight with the first of 2 games in 2 days in Ottawa. It's the Sens season opener, while Toronto started its campaign Wednesday with a 5-4 overtime win at home over Montreal. Third overall pick, Tim Stützle of Germany, is expected to make his debut for Ottawa. This sports update for the Tab Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, corner of Rochdale and Pasqua, and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars. Now with 8 amazing flavors, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours today at g2gbars.ca. You see the screen, text us. Viewer takeover in next. Prairie Mobile text line, 306-840-8777. That's 840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating. Proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Updating and improving your air conditioning system does not need to be difficult. You can breathe easy with our 100% satisfaction guarantee, flexible financing options, and maintenance programs. We will be with you throughout the process from start to finish. Contact us today so we can help you breathe a little easier. 306-781-2090.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Moose DuPont's in here, too. And don't forget, Clark, the business of the week. I think I got the monitor working here right now. Hey, we've been doing viewer takeover all show long, so as we welcome Moose, how are you, Moose?
I'm great.
What have you been doing all day? Business?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you have.
It's been awesome. I love it.
Every day is awesome around here. Are you kidding me? This ain't work.
I know.
So we're going to do the face-off right now, guys, for the Ultimate Fan Zone and the Mad Greek. And the question is this. I believe this was Clark's question, so I'm giving him credit. Who's the most emotionally scarred fan base in Canadian NHL teams? Okay? You know it's a long list.
Yeah.
And you want to immediately say the Edmonton Oilers, but they shouldn't be. I mean, I'm the child of the 80s, man, where they won 4 Stanley Cups in the 80s, another in 1990 for 5 Stanley Cups. Come on, it's over. Forget it. It's not the Oilers as much as you want to think it's the Oilers. Calgary Flames, the difference between them and Abra is what? Abra has 2 cups, but at least they have 1.
Yes.
When you're talking about aggrieved fan bases, okay, that's my take, and I always look at the prairies in the Bermuda Triangle where we reside here in the Bermuda Triangle. But as a Leafs fan, you probably going, over here, us.
A little bit. You know, I think with the Oilers recently, it's very fresh. There's a wound there because of all the first-round picks. They should have probably won a cup or 2 by now, or 3 or 4, right, with all those first overall picks and top 3 picks. I think with the Leafs, there's enough scar tissue there that we're not hurting anymore. Right?
Okay.
The wound is a permanent scar.
You don't even know what the good times are.
Exactly. You know, the wound is so long ago that this is just the way it is. We're not winning. Vancouver, for me, is the most emotionally damaged. The fact that when they get good and the country wants to embrace them, they start screaming and say, no, we don't want to be
Canada. And push them all away.
And push everybody away because they're still hurting so bad.
They're damaged.
It's Vancouver.
You nailed it. And the viewers are chiming in. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says it's the Leafs. Media pumps them up and gives them too high of an expectation, leading to a letdown. Joe Lazito says, I'd say Toronto, but so much of that is self-inflicted. Everybody wants to say Toronto. Clearly, it's not Montreal. Viewer Chris Bird in Toronto wrote in and said that this is the most excited Ottawa fans have been in franchise history because tonight they open the season at home and there will be no Leafs fans in attendance. It's Vancouver because not only do they go on a run and they push the rest of the country away? We're all trying to wrap our arms around them and give them love, and they're like, no, no. That's hurting, man.
Oh, yeah.
And then they get to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup thrice and lost every single time. That is a whole new level of hurt. So nobody won this face-off.
No.
We've agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
I'm waiting for the one where you get kicked out of the face-off circle.
Drop an F-bomb or something, get kicked out. I don't know what else would do it.
The face-off is for the Mad Greek in Moose Jaw. We're watching the commercials and our mouth is drooling. Maybe we got to head over there. Maybe today.
Yeah.
Visit their website at themadgreekeatery.com. They're available for licensed dining, takeout, or delivery. Ultimate Fan Zone as well, home of the home teams, jerseys, caps, and team apparel. They are your officially licensed fan store in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Craig Campbell from the Hockey Hall of Fame watching. He says, great news about the SJHL and WHL teams. Thanks for another entertaining show. Enjoy your weekend. Same to you, Craig, and enjoy the hockey. But I want to just pump the brakes here for a second. We're not totally sure the money is for a return to play. You said that when you came in here, and you were just being honest. We don't know for certain that the bailout from the provincial government is to get back to the ice. Just yesterday, Sask Hockey was informed no hockey until the end of March. And now it would be nice on the Twitter if somebody said it was for a return to play, because I've been sitting here for the last 2 hours. I wasn't on the conference call, or I didn't get the news release.
This is
so what do you think?
This is one you can't just buy your way out of, though, too. It's wonderful, and it shows that the government's supporting it, but health and safety protocols and the health officials, they have to make the final sign-off. So just because you put money at it doesn't mean it's a return to play.
So stick to our social media channels throughout the weekend. We'll give you the latest and the greatest. And in the minute that we have left, for the MySask 411 Business of the Week, where we connect Saskatchewan businesses with each other, AIM Electric Limited specializes in everything from residential wiring to commercial and industrial projects. They are 100% locally owned with more than 35 successful years in the electrical industry. From their office and warehouse at 515 43rd Street in Saskatoon, they provide electrical contracting as well as service and maintenance to their clients throughout Saskatchewan. They also offer 24-hour emergency services. That's AIM Electric Limited. Thank you to Ken Lega of Saskatoon for helping us out with that, and that is our MySask 411 Business of the Week. Coming up on Monday, the Golden Knights, Gary Lawless. You asked for him, you got him. And from Team Dunstone, Brady Muscoe. Great job, Producer Clark, the entire crew. Enjoy the weekend, everybody, and we'll see you here on Game Plus Monday at noon.
Now I'm the whore and the pimp. That's where the money is.